guys, welcome to chapter 5. Chapter 5 is awesome. We are starting from the beginning. Now the first thing, starting from the beginning with a company, and we're making a company file and setting some things up in it. So it's going to be really probably clarifying based on everything we've been doing with files that were already set up. So not getting to see that from the start. So, but you'll be familiar with more stuff as you go on since you've already done the other sections. So starting with 5-1. Now, before you start, one thing you want to be sure to do, as you notice, we're in QuickBooks Accountant Desktop 2018. If you read any of their updates, it's supposed to stay toggled when you choose QuickBooks Pro, but it doesn't. So you've got to go File, Toggle to another edition, choose QuickBooks Pro, and then Next. And then we're going to say Toggle. Some of the differences do come into play with QuickBooks Accountant. So you may not have noticed many differences in past assignments if you stayed in Accountant, but in Chapter 5 with setting up the new company file, because that's something that accountants often do, it is a different experience, and we won't have their first option if you stay in QuickBooks Accountant. So I'm going to start over, create a new company. Now you can tell by looking at the top, QuickBooks Desktop Pro 2018 via Accountant in parentheses. Create a new company, or you can go File, Create a new company. And now it says we'll go to Other Options and select Advanced Setup. So now we have information they give us. Company name, DJ Rhythms. Legal name, same. Tax ID is a social security number. You can tell by that format, 111-22-0000. Match the format. And so that means he's a sole proprietor, which we'll get to in a moment. 60 North 4th Street, Brooklyn, New York. On the next page, we'll find the zip tab, 11249. Tab the phone number, we'll do parentheses 718, parentheses space 3472100, and we need 8- in there. And we'll go to email address, which is fernando@djrhymes.com. Website, www.djrhymes. Cannot spell that for some reason. Rhythms.com. Now make sure you spell everything right, because that information is going to be carried forward. So now we're going to select the industry. And we're not going to see like DJ industry. So we're going to go to the bottom, and we have two choices here. General product-based business, that would be for a store. General service-based business, which will apply to a DJ. How is your company organized? This is asking about the legal business. So they're a sole proprietor. Go next. Select the month of your fiscal year. So January, that's the normal start. And now set up your administrator password. So we're going to do capital P, password, ! 1, capital P, password, ! 1, and then we'll do next. And now we're here to create the company file. Next. So we're going to choose where to save it. Now I'm already in my DYS folder. I'll just go out to show you. Chapter 5 I set up. Here are our assignments. We're going to make the files this time. So we go into DYS and we'll just save. You don't need to actually put the extension. The extension will be added on its own. And be sure to read through these sections. You'll notice, of course, they're going through account types and descriptions, and basically there's a starter chart of accounts based on the information we put in, the type of business, service-based, sole proprietor. So they're setting up equity accounts. Remember how in accounting you had common stock? Those types of accounts are for shareholders in a corporation. Since we have a sole proprietor, they're going to set up those equity accounts, and then our income and expense accounts based on choosing the industry type. And beginning balances. So when you start a business, if you're setting up the accounting at the same time, your beginning balances are zero. But if you have been operating for a while and then set up your accounting, you need to update like your payables and your accounts receivables per type of customer, and then put in any beginning balances of loans, bank accounts, those sorts of things, all on the same date. Remember, balance sheets accounts are as of one day in time. They have a balance, and they're the running total for that type of account in the business. Income and expense items, your temporary accounts, tell you profitability, and they close out into that retained earnings accounts, which is the net amount of earning and profit from all prior periods in the business. So now we're on to 5-2. So if we didn't close out, if you close out, you'll reopen and you'll be here. You'll be brought here. In our case, we're going to click next, and we're going to customize some things. So step 1, what do you sell? Services only. Next. Sales tax. No. Estimates. Yes, we use estimates. Statements. Yes, we use statements. So that means we might bill people per month and have an ongoing relationship with them. And then do you want to use progress invoicing, which means invoicing as you go? Yes. Manage bills you owe. Do we want to open our bills? Yes. Do you want to track time in QuickBooks? Yes, we do. Do we have employees? No, we don't. It's selected. So, and if you might remember, we're setting up a very basic business, and it is interesting because while a basic business doesn't have to use something like QuickBooks Desktop Pro, it still is going to give an array of functionality that might be worthwhile. So even if you have a simple business, just because I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, it doesn't mean that it's still not a great choice for that type of business, especially if you, someone externally, is keeping the records. The reason I don't recommend QuickBooks for many businesses in this type of situation is because they're trying to do it themselves, and it's just going to be too complicated for them. But if you're doing it, then that's a different story. So now they're to set up your chart of accounts, we need to start on the starting date and understand how we want to categorize business income and expenses. So we are down to this next section. We'll go next. They say use today's date or the first day of the quarter. Type 01/01/23. So that was the second bullet to select, and then 01/01/23 next. Now, basically, these are our chart of accounts that was set up for us automatically, and they're telling us in number 6 that we're going to add 2 more accounts: equipment rental and interest income. So careful, because if you click, you might select something. So there's equipment rental. To add it, you can see the check marks in the left column. We're going to click, and then we're going to go down to other income to add interest income and say next. Congratulations, we're done. So we're going to say, they say click next to leave the interview. So we'll go to setup. Ours looks a little bit different. Okay, so now we're down to the next section. Set up the last bullet, number 8, on 5-2. So now we're there. And you can flip to the next page. It says, then click the add button to add people you do business with. So we'll click add. And now it says, click paste from Excel or enter manually. So that's the last option. And then continue. And notice that this window you can choose to import from one of the 3 email providers, paste from an Excel workbook, or enter manually. So we can import this. Click the customer radio button, that small button. So we'll select customer. We're selecting what this line of information is going to be for. And the rows that we need will then become available based on whether we select customer, vendor, or employee. And so now we're going to fill in the information. So the name field, we'll put how we want the names to display. So last name, comma, Caitlin. Now company name, they have nothing. First name, they have Caitlin. Last name, they have Landon. Email, they have klandon@email.com. And now the phone number, we have parentheses 718, parentheses space 379-0777 tab. And we have an address. So here's address, 17 Stanley space Ave, period, and then Brooklyn, comma, New York, space 11206. Now we'll tab, and that's it. Make sure your entries are accurately typed because this information will be displayed on invoices, bills, and other forms. So now we tab out and we're on to the next line, and it says select vendor. Now we'll follow the instructions. Name, Harbor, comma, William, tab. Oh, nope, we have a company name. NE space electric, tab, first name William, tab, last name Harbor, tab, email is WH Harbor, the last name Harbor, at neelectric.com, tab. Phone is parenthesis 212 space 654-1234, of course, tab. Next we have an address, 401 space W dot space 23rd space Street, tab, New York, comma, New York, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nothing for contact name, that's our last thing. So now it says click continue. If you had opening balances, this is not something this screen tells us about. If there are duplicate records, we would see it here. If we wanted to open opening balances, that enter opening balances right here, we would click that. Meaning if we owed one of them money or if they owed us money, we would enter it in. They don't, so we'll click continue. And now it says, click continue to return to get all the details into QuickBooks desktop screen. Click the add button to add products and services you sell. So that's the next one. We'll go add. Now we're going to set up. And so remember, we did add services items before, but this we're setting it up at the start. So ensure the service button is checked and then continue. And now it gives us the information. So name is 110 space corporate base package, description, live turn table, comma, 1 DJ, comma, space, light show, space, dash, space, 1 hour, price, 75. We'll tab, we're on to the next line. Second service, 210. Oop-a-doo. $210 space wedding base package, description, live turn table space 2 DJs, comma, space, light show dash 1 hour. So this is the hourly price for these services, $150. Now we'll click continue tab. And now again, it's checking to see if we have any duplicates, and we'll say continue. Now we're going to add the bank account. So checking, account name is checking. Account number is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8, 7, 8, 9. Opening balance is $45,000. Quite a bit for a DJ company. Opening date 12/31/22. So those are the dates we're going to enter our balances beginning 12/31/22. And now we click continue. Now, they want us to, we're going to say no thanks to this because we don't need to print checks. Continue. Now we're going to click start working. Now they talk about some other ways of starting a new company and different ways to edit. You want to be sure to read through this. That's why I broke up this. It's also a bit longer. So this is a feature tour of some different things. I'm just going to close this because we're opening a new file. So they want to make sure we have guidance. If you see these instructions like this, you just click out of them to get rid of them. Now we're in 5-3. So we're going to look at preferences like they go over in the pages before. We're going to go edit preferences. And now we're going to click on accounting at the top. And then click on company preferences tab. And we're going to use account numbers checkbox. Use account numbers. And then choose reminders category. Let's see. Okay, it was on the same line, so I was expecting us to click something within here, but all they mean is then click to reminders, which is an option on the left side here, reminders. And now it says, do you want to save the changes we just made under accounting? And we'll say yes. Then click the My Preferences. So you can see we have company preferences. We're going to go to My Preferences. We always have both. And then we'll click Show Reminders List when opening a company file. So we'll check that. We'll flip to the next page and then we'll click OK. And then choose File, Close Company. Now, if the automatic backup window appears, you can say no, don't make a backup. Then we're going to click Open. And the No Company Open window appears. And djrhythms.qbw should be highlighted. So from here, we're going to go Open. And for me, yours probably will open, but I know that actually that should open. What did it say? I already had started doing this, but my computer was not working on me. And so I started over. Let's see. Here we go. It worked that time. Remember, capital P, password, and then exclamation point, and then 1 if you did that in setup. There we go. Okay. Now it says click the gear. So first of all, the reminders list should open because that was the preference we changed. There it is. Here's our reminders. So we're going to click the gear icon, and then that brings us to these preferences. Now click My Preferences tab and choose the Show Reminders so that it will no longer open when you open the file. And then click Spelling. So spelling is another option. We'll say yes to save our changes. And then check Always. And then click Always check spelling before printing, saving, or sending supporting forms, checkbooks to turn spelling off. They're just letting you get familiar with these options here. So now we're going to click Accounting. We'll say Save. And then click Warn if transactions are 30 days. Checkbook to turn off future transaction date warning, because we're always dealing with future transactions, but that must be under company preferences. This, you might have noticed this coming through. Click Accounting, click Yes to save the changes, and then click Warn if transactions are 30 days in the future. Checkbox to turn off the future transactions warning. So here we go. Under date warnings, warn transactions, warn if transactions are 30 days. So the second option, just unclick it. And then we're going to say, okay. And that's going to be good for us because we're always dealing with 2023, which is clearly in the future. Okay, so now we're on to 5-4. We're going to customize the company file by modifying the list. This is something we did before. So we're going to go, this is review, list, item list, and these are our services. And now we're going to go down here, item and new. We'll tab forward so that service is selected, and we'll then enter 310 Suite 16 base package. We'll tab to the description and do live turntable, comma, 2 DJs, comma, basic light show, comma, 1 photo booth dash 1 hour. And rate is $150, and account is sales income, which is the first one. So click OK. Notice that sales income does not have account number assigned. Numbers were assigned to the default accounts in the starter chart of accounts. You will change them later. There is also a sales account as part of the starter account. So you can see that when I was typing sales. We'll come back here. See how there's sales 47900, sales discount, and then sales income. So we're going to keep the sales income. I entered so that automatically saved. So now we're going to go lists, customer and vendor profile lists, customer type list, and choose customer type, new. Oh, no, I chose edit on accident. Customer type and new. So we're changing these options. You might remember these options from before. And now we're going to have website. And then we'll click OK. And we're adding this customer type so that we can better track customer acquisition when needed, where our customers came from. So now we're going to skip over. You're going to see a bunch of information about customizing the chart of accounts. Be sure to read it. And then how sub-accounts work. Sub-accounts all roll up into their top account so that they can be summarized, but they track greater detail. So at 5-5, we're going to go to the chart of accounts. Close that. We'll go to chart of accounts, multiple ways to get there. I'm going to go list chart of accounts, and we'll make it bigger. And now they say, notice that some accounts do not have numbers. Also notice that 3,000 opening balance equity shows a balance of 4,500, the same as the checking account. This is what happened behind the scenes. It is a starting point that shows that the funds came from equity. So basically, because of our beginning balance in the checking account, the software automatically considers that contributed by the owners, which is why it's increasing equity. So we can see some accounts don't have a number. So now click checking. And then we can see we don't have a number for checking. So we're going to go account down here at the bottom and then edit account. And under number in the top right where we are automatically, we'll add 1 and 4 zeros. 10,000. And then we'll go to account name and we'll change it to Metropolis Checking, which I was going to mention when we're typing that. Usually you use the name. We'll go to description, company, checking account, routing number. We have the bank account number. We'll go to routing number. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 twos. and then a 3. And then we'll go save and close. So now you can see our checking account has a number at the start. Now we'll go inventory asset. Let's see, we gotta go down. There it is, down here at the bottom. Inventory asset, choose account, edit account, down here at the bottom. Now our cursor is in the number. It says type 14,000. And then save and close. And now they're gonna show the other way. We'll go to cost of goods sold. You can just right click or touch your screen, hold it down, and the options will also come up the same way. My computer is being finicky, so I'm gonna go edit account, but you can also just right click and select as well. Now we're gonna enter 50,000, save and close. And now we're gonna go to that sales income, our last one, edit account. And we're gonna do 47,800 and save and close. Now we're going to delete an account. We're gonna click on the search field and type accountant. Search is at the top. Type in accountant, enter. Ask my accountant is an actual expense line, which is a little weird. And so we're going to, you can right click again to get these options or click the account, delete, yes. Now we're gonna create a new account. So click reset to return to the listing. To the right of search here, we'll click the reset button and choose account and then new. Here we're gonna select bank account and then enter our continue. Now we'll enter our number of 10,100. Account name is Metropolis Savings. Description is company savings account. Bank account number is 45454545. Routing number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 twos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then a 3. Maybe I did that wrong before because, no, now we have an extra one. Okay, that's their mistake. It's 8 twos and then a 3. That is their mistake. One extra 2 there. Okay, 14, we'll click save and close. And then they say, don't you want to set up online bank feeds? And we're going to say no. Unfortunately, online bank feeds are great, but we can't do it without real bank accounts. So now we're going to create these sub accounts. And we're going to go to telephone expense 6810, and we're going to select edit account. And we're going to use this information to change it to a sub account of utilities. So we're going to change the number to 68610, and then we're going to select sub account and select utilities, which you can just start typing, select enter, tab. Now we'll select save and close. And we're going to create one more. We're going to go account, new. We'll select expense. Next. We'll enter the account number 6820, tab. We'll do the account name, electric. We'll tab. We'll do sub account of utilities. Enter, tab. And then the description is electricity to run office. Save and close. And now save and close to leave the chart of accounts. That option might be down there, but I can't get to it. We'll just close it. Now we're going to create some income sub-accounts. So choose account and new. Oh, I don't think we were actually supposed to close the chart of accounts. You can see chart of accounts is also over here under company. So now we'll go account new and we'll choose income. Continue. We'll do 4, 7, 8, 10. Tab. Weddings. Tab. Sub account of sales income. 47,800. Enter and say description, all indoor wedding events. And then we'll say save and new to add another one. So now we're going to do 47820. The account name is corporate events. And we'll select the sub account sales income. And we'll say all indoor corporate events. And flip over, we'll do save and new and add one more account. The account number is 47830. We'll go to account name, Suite 16. Sub-account of sales income. So now we have 3 under here, all indoor Suite 16. So you can see that we're grouping things by the fact that they're indoor. And you can group things by whatever makes sense for the business. So now we'll do click save and close the chart of accounts window. Now we're back here. Now we're going to edit our list entry to reassign account. So we're going to list, item list, and right click on 110 corporate, which is the first one that's selected. We're going to go edit item. And then we're going to click account down here and choose 47810. Oh, I hit it when it does that. For weddings. So we want to select the sub account. See how it's portrayed? Sales income colon, and then the number for the wedding account, and then we'll say, okay, you changed an account associated with this item. Yes. Now we'll right click on the Suite 16 package and select edit item, which you can also do from down here. And then in the account field, we're going to select 47830 to assign it to that sub account. I'm sure it makes sense now. Those are going to be in those different sub accounts so that it's all tracked under sales income. Okay, next we're talking about classes. And classes are another way to basically indicate that various sales and expenses are associated to a category so that you can run your reports by these different categories. Be sure to read through that. We're going to go edit, preferences, and then choose accounting, which is chosen, company preferences, use class tracking for transactions. So we've got to select it here and click OK, and then close the preference window. So I assume they want us to prompt to be selected. So now we're going to go list, class list. Now it's listed there. And we're going to choose a new class. This class is going to be corporate events. So we kind of have indoor, outdoor, and then corporate and private. Corporate event. Click next. And now we're going to do private. And then, okay, so we created 2 classes, which you can see here, corporate event and private event. So now we're going to assign a class to all transactions. So choose and close class. So we're going to close out the class list, close out the other list. Now we're going to go customers and create invoices. Remember this? Here's our invoice. We're going to choose the Intuit Service invoice template, which is selected, Intuit Service invoice template. And then choose Caitlin Landon as the customer. You just type K, she pops up. You cannot record, I'm not done, okay. I pressed enter, so didn't like that. You wanna use tabs. Okay, I get it. And then we're going to click class and select private. And that's how we will assign class to everything. Click the email later button, which is selected. So they're saying to turn it off. And fill in the remainder of the invoice. So we're going to need the date. Which is 01/14/2023, tab, invoice number. They don't tell us anything for that. The next thing is item. So we're going to go down to the item, and then we can start typing 210. There it is, wedding, tab, quantity 5, tab. Now we're going to select 310 for the Sweet 16 package, enter quantity 4. Now, notice how private defaulted to the class column for both events. So you can see here we have a class column for each amount so that we can allocate things as needed based on, like in this case, classes for the customer probably. So, but it can be broken up in more detail for one customer based on their different class. So now we're going to choose a custom message. We can just tab. We'll click custom message, and then we'll tap and tab memo type Landon, wedding and Sweet 16 for the memo, which is what we did. And now we're going to click save and new. And we get the invoice sound. Now we're going to type Jacobs. Jacobs, Michael. Then we'll tab. And it says, click quick add, leave class blank. fill out the remainder. Date 01 018 01 18 23. We won't touch invoice number. The next thing is the item, which is 210 wedding base package, quantity 5. Tab to the next line, item 110, quantity 3, tab. Oh, and I missed the classes. So the second one is corporate, and the first one for the wedding is private. Now we will choose the customer message, tab, type Jacobs dash wedding feb dot space 4 comma corp period event space Jan 20. And then save and new because I can't get to close. Close this. Then we go reports, company and financial, profit and loss by class. And this is so that you can see how this class feature can really allow you to be able to see different things. Now, of course, we need to change the date. 01/01/2023, 12/31. 2023. And there we go. Now we can see our different classes and how it breaks out the income. So that is all. Be sure to save this report, and you can download it by PDF. So to do PDF, remember you go print, save as PDF. You can also do print and then select print to PDF. But in this case, we're in DYS. Remember, you have all those other files. We'd be able to see more if we go into the folder. And we're going to get rid of this star, and we're going to do DJ Rhymes space profit and loss by class 2023 to indicate the year and press save. Okay, so that's it. So to submit this section, you're going to upload your QuickBooks file. And just to reiterate, let's take a look at what that would look like. First, I'm going to go File, Close Company. Memorize Report. No. We're even closing that out. Okay, so now here, you can see my folder. We're going to go into desktop, QuickBooks Chapter 5, DYS. Now, we have all sorts of QBW files. All you need to attach is the QuickBooks company file. That is the file that you would send to someone. The one with the icon that says DJ Rhymes. Now, you can also send the data source alternatively. It is much larger. You could send that. All of the other stuff is only operating information on your computer. There's no need to send it because it won't do anything. It just allows QuickBooks to operate. QuickBooks will automatically create that from a QB M or QBW file as it needs. So all you're going to submit is preferably the actual QuickBooks company file and the PDF for 2013. Okay, guys, I'm going to end this video and I'll see you in the next one. I hope you enjoyed this chapter.